Group.
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. It's Andy Brownell on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Saturday morning and time to get together with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. I'm getting really antsy. I'm watching the snow go away, and I love that. But I'm really getting antsy for some actual warm weather.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I was reading a report that I share the same wish. I want that 75-degree day. But right now they're saying that's the worst thing that could happen because, well,
it'll melt too fast.
We've gotten rid of most of our snow up north of the Twin Cities. It's still really, really deep.
Yeah, it melt too fast.
Yeah, and then we'll have the floods.
Yeah, I get it.
I know.
I get it. But I still, okay, so fine, I'll go away, go somewhere else where it's warm. I don't know. I'll get it somewhere. The sunshine helps. I will say that.
It does.
You know, the days that the sun is shining, even if I'm in my car driving from appointment to appointment, if that sun is beating through the glass, it's like, okay, it's coming. It's coming.
Hey, sunshine and 45 right now feels fantastic.
Agreed.
When there's no wind. When there's the north
When there's
breeze,
no wind.
Yeah. It always amazes me that in the spring, a little sunshine and 45 degrees and people are out in shorts and T-shirts, and then we go to late September and it's sunny and 45, and we're all chilled and have our jackets on.
Yeah, it's so funny.
But I imagine with this warmer weather, it's getting a whole lot easier to get out and look at the homes, too.
Well, it's really nice to not go to a house and wonder if you're going to have a foot of snow in the driveway or if maybe they actually have already, shoveled it. But now it's like, okay, there's no more snow in the driveway. We're good. So I like that part. It is easier, for sure.
But on the flip side, we're kind of in that ugly stage of the year where there's nothing you can do about it either.
Right.
The grass
you know
is...
what? We are here just 2 weekends away from the Spring Builders Parade of Homes. So that is always, for me as a realtor for the last 23 years, that is always a sign that spring is here. Okay. It's first it's match day and then it's the Spring Parade of Homes because the traffic is just picking up. I suspect it's so nice to see that there are some homes in the Builders Parade. We hear all this, nobody's building, but there's some really amazing new homes that have been built that will be in the parade. So I think if you, are thinking about buying or thinking about building, it's a fun thing to do to go to that parade of homes and just see what's out there, see what's in, see what colors people are using, what flooring, all of that.
Yeah,
one of these years I'm going to take the time off to go up to the Twin Cities and go on their parade of homes because I know theirs is just fabulous. But in the meantime, I'll just continue to check out the ones around here.
So when they do this
more to me anyway.
In the spring, are these homes, I know, are they just on the verge of being completed at this point?
They're at different stages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in the... Oh, wait a minute. Is it the spring one? One of the two you caught me off guard. One of them, the houses have to be completely done. And the other one is, so it's either the spring or the fall that they have to be completely done. And then the other one, they can be at any stage of the house.
It would make more sense that the fall would be the completed one. At the end of the construction season.
Yeah. But at any rate, most people are trying to get their houses as ready as they can so you can actually, see them, right? See what's going on. And
imagine everything looks better when it's close to being the finished product.
I actually just looked it up so I don't sound stupid. Entries must be to the drywall stage, but do not need to be completely finished.
Oh, okay.
So at least when they get in there, the walls are up and the drywall is up so you can actually, feel the sizes of the rooms, etc.
Sure.
So it's the fall one where they have to be completely done.
They get to see the countertops and all the
Right.
different times.
And that stuff might be done in some of these, so don't be discouraged. There should be some that are, because obviously the further along, the better it is for the builder, the more they have to show off.
So if I'm a person thinking about not necessarily building, but buying, is it worthwhile for me to go on this and just to get an idea of the kind of things I like?
Well, I think so, because, it's sort of like going to open houses. It starts to give you an idea of what you're going to be able to buy for your money. So it's like you're not interrupting anybody's life by going to the parade of homes. That's what it's there for. And same with open houses. That's what they're there for. So I think it's a good time when you're just in that curiosity stage. It's a good time to go check things out.
And I suppose if you are actually thinking about building, a great time to meet some of the builders.
Oh, gosh, yes. Meet the builders and get a feel for, how you click with them. And the different realtors that'll be in the open houses as well. So, no, it's great. I think it's a exciting time of the year for realtors, for sure.
All right.
And busy time. We usually spend long shifts in those houses.
And I imagine now that we're a couple weeks past match day, things are really cooking for you.
Oh, yeah. What's really nice is that because inventory is, I wish we had more, but because it's coming out, a little bit at a time, the residents just keep coming back. So every day there's another sale. It's nice. It's like back in the day, they used to all have to be there on the same day, and it was like a major feeding frenzy, and they had to just, fight for what was there. And now it's like, okay, just hang on, hang tight. Something new will come on the market this week. Something new will come on the market next week, because they don't have to be here till the end of June. So they're not in a great big hurry. But yeah, it has definitely increased the business for sure. I actually just received an offer on one of my listings from another agent who's representing a resident yesterday. So, yeah.
And I imagine this technology has made that whole process a lot less stressful for the residents, because once they could come here, get a feel for the community and maybe where they want to live.
Right.
And then they could go back to where they're at and go onto your website and look at the.
Or we start with the first weekend that they came and met them in person, showed them some houses. And then if they didn't find one, it's no big deal, because now when something hits the market, we just go into a virtual showing with them. And now they trust us because they've met us and we know what they like. So yeah, it works. Technology does help us a lot when it comes to that.
Fantastic.
So, I have to tell you, don't tell me you have to take a break.
No, not.
I was going to say, come on. All right, so I have to tell you something. We talk about technology. You got to have the technology, because our number one home buyers are the millennials. And if you're asking them to meet you in person and sign something, they will definitely think you flipped your lid, right? So good news for us old realtors, that is that the baby boomers are edging out the millennials now as the top buying force.
They're back. As a matter of fact, I had to go and meet someone in person this week when I received an offer on her house, because she doesn't do email. I'm like, I can. Person alive.
Well, I do it, but I said to her, I'm totally comfortable coming over and sitting with you and signing in person. No problem whatsoever.
We can have a face-to-face conversation, and it'll be all fine. It'll be just fine.
Yeah. So, I do find it interesting, because I have done a lot of multi-generational stuff. So it might be, they say the baby boomers are the purchasers. I have had where the, 70-year-old parents are buying a house, and the 40-something-year-old family is living with them.
Sure.
And I feel like, I've seen it the other way too, where it's the young couple buying the house and parents are moving in. But more often, I've seen it where the parents, and I think it's because of the power of the cash buyer, and so I think that's why we're seeing that. Now, maybe after the fact, they're going back in and doing a mortgage and putting the actual adult kids' names on that, or maybe they're doing it together. But I personally have had like 3 where the parents bought the house for all of them to live in it together.
I actually know somebody doing that right now. They're in the process.
Yeah.
The parents are a little bit older than I am, and the children are mid to late 20s.
Yeah. Yep. But I do love that families are, sticking together like a few years. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say a few years back, but even when I started real estate, you didn't see a lot of multi-generational living here. We see that in other cultures, and other cultures brought it here, but you didn't see that with a lot of American families, but you're seeing more and more and more of it. And I love it personally, but I'm a big family person.
But if you go back 50, 60 years ago, you did see it.
Yeah. Yep. I remember when I was a kid, our grandma lived with us. My grandma lived with us. I remember that.
Okay. Well,
absolutely.
Now we do have to take a break, Robin.
All right.
We'll be back in a moment with more of Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. We're with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Saturday morning talking about real estate, and before we took the break, we kind of got into the idea that the millennials are back into they're always in the housing market, but for a while there, the millennials were leading the force for a while there during the pandemic, but now the baby boomers are back on top. That's where we're at.
Exactly. And I was speculating as to why that was, but when we took a break, I actually looked further into the article, and I was speculating correctly. It says here, baby boomers who are most likely to use equity from a past home to make a new purchase may be in a better position to move. And then it goes on to talk about they're highly motivated. They're increasingly want to buy homes to live closer to friends and family due to retirement or maybe even desire for a smaller home. And 18% of home buyers say that 18% of home buyers between the ages of 68 and 76 are purchasing multi-generational homes.
Oh.
So, I knew I could feel it because if I've done 3 in the last year, it's clearly a trend, right?
And I've seen just over the past 2 years, a bunch of people, they're not my age, they're a bit older than me, but they're early retirement years. And they had scattered all over the whole country, and now they're back here. They've come back
Isn't
home.
it something? Yeah. Yeah, people do come back. And what I find, most people that I help are moving either because they're coming to Mayo because of a job, or they're coming to Rochester because their kids took a job at Mayo and they want to be closer to their kids and their grandkids. So I get a lot of grandparents moving into Rochester. They think, why not? Our kids are here, our grandkids are here, and the Mayo Clinic is here. It's a great place to live.
Yeah, the kids and grandkids are here. They can shovel.
Well, you see that they're doing a pilot in Rochester now about the accessory dwellings,
yes,
right?
I did see that.
So the little grandma houses in the backyard. I actually think that is going to become a big thing here because we do have so many instances where, one parent that maybe is the only surviving parent, or a lot of times both parents are coming here to be closer to the Mayo Clinic physicians who happen to be their children. So, why not? If they have a opportunity if they don't want to live with them, we said that's more and more common, but that's the best of both worlds. They could have their own private house right in the backyard.
It'll be the pool house, right? No.
The pool house.
I'm thinking detached garage. Can you convert a detached garage into a...
And sometimes, like in Pill Hill, they've done built apartments above the garages, above the detached garages. And I remember selling a house years ago to a resident and his wife, and they rented that space above the garage to a medical student, which was ideal.
Sure.
So, yeah, lots of options.
Explore the options. Well, and I know...
Think outside that box.
With that program they have, I know it's a limited amount of money to begin with, but they're basically reimbursing people for some of the fees they have to pay into the city to, utility hookups, whatever it may be, permits, and all this other things. You can apply to get that money back to help defray the cost of whatever project you're doing with these.
Yeah, that's
what do
correct.
They call them? There's a I think little homes, but that's not right. It's
accessory dwellings.
Accessory dwellings. That's it. Okay. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think it'll be a hit. I really do. I know that it is a lot more commonplace in other areas, so sometimes we're a little slow to catch on to trends, but they eventually get here. So I think it will be good. But you know what? Just overall, I have to tell you, whether it's more baby boomers buying or, new products coming to the market, the housing data is solidifying that there is definitely a broad market recovery. So this is good news because there are, for the past 3 months now, the major market indicators, including contract signings, number of contracts signed, new construction, and existing home sales, everything's turning positive.
And this is nationwide?
Nationwide, yep. And this is the third straight month. Yeah, isn't that something? Yeah, third straight month. So honestly, that's why it was so frustrating for me when people were like, oh, the sky is falling, the real estate market is crashing. No, it really, really, really isn't. So good news is it's still a fabulous time to buy or sell your house.
And for those of you who are still waiting for the distressed sales and the foreclosures,
yeah, stop. It's not happening. What did we say last week? It's like less than 2% of the sales.
2% nationwide, yeah.
And it's been that way for the last, 4 or 5 consecutive years, 7, a while. And they don't see anything changing there either. So,
no, when you have continually a shortage of housing, you're not going to have an ability to have that type of sale occur because somebody's going to line up and buy the thing.
Yes. And, people are asking me, like, what am I reading about, like, mortgages and what's going to happen? And what I am seeing over and over is that mortgage loans are expected to become more readily available. Rates are definitely moving in the right direction. However, access to commercial loans, for whatever reason, I guess because of the banks, is becoming more and more difficult.
Well, they're inherently more risky.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I lost my train of thought on this. Oh, I know what it was. Those, creative mortgages that we had talked about earlier in, I think January that were...
Oh, the buy-downs?
Yeah, that's yes.
Yeah.
Are they still happening now?
Well, not as much, and I think some of those people will definitely be refinancing sooner than they had predicted. They'll use the 2 years of the lower rate that they got bought down, and probably at the end of that, they'll be ready to refinance. So, sure. Turned out to, prove to be a good tool. But yeah, I'm not seeing as much of it now because the fact that the rates are, moving downward.
And stabilized in one specific range.
Right.
Instead of
it doesn't make people quite so nervous,
okay.
Like what's going to happen next.
Well, Robin, let's take a really quick break here, a perfect time for it, and we'll be back in just a few moments on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, everyone. We're back with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Robin... Outside of crypto, the hottest topic over the past year has to have been AI, artificial intelligence.
And
So,
is AI going to do the radio show? Is AI going to sell the houses? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, every time you turn around, everybody's going to lose their job because this computer assisted thing is going to replace all of them.
But guess what? It's not going to happen because people still crave human relationships, okay? So those things are going to make our job easier. I mean, there are tools that are very helpful, but we will not be replaced, okay? That's my prediction. I think that's pretty much, there are always the people that try to scare you, say, oh, pretty soon people aren't going to need realtors, but do you think this is the first time I've heard that in my 23-year career? I've heard it over and over and over. And this is going to be the thing that cuts out the need for a realtor. Now, this is going to be the thing that cuts out the need for a realtor. Now it's going to be this. Now it's going to be that. Well, here we are, still going strong. And you know what? I have a little article here. I'm going to read something. It says that all generations favored working with real estate agents to help buyers sell. 86% of home sellers worked with a real estate agent to sell their home. A consistent percentage across all age groups. Referrals from a friend, neighbor, and relative were the most common method for finding an agent, according to the survey. So people want to know what your experience was, right? And they want to bank on that so that they can mock the same experience. So it's about relationships, it's about people, it's about giving great customer service. And those are things that, sorry guys, no computer is ever going to master that.
And there's always going to be a handful of, cutting edge people who will say, this is the coolest thing ever, I did it this way. But the majority of us, I agree with you, will sit back and go, this is a big deal. This is the biggest transaction I'll make in my life.
Yeah. So I'd like to have a nice, real, reliable human being helping me along the way. Yeah, I think that's really good advice, actually.
And the other aspect of it to me is all this fraud that's going on out there. I have to write stories every other day about some poor soul who got ripped off by somebody.
Isn't it terrible?
It is.
They get the information. So, we'll sell somebody a house, and our closing company will send them an email saying, congratulations on the closing, on your upcoming closing. Here's the information you need. This is what we need from you. Call us and we'll get, who has the loan on it. They don't ask for it through the email, right? But then all of a sudden somebody intercepts that email, and then they send a new email to the client saying, oh, we need your bank account number for the wire transfer for the proceeds of your sale. And it has become a big deal. And I haven't had any of my customers get ripped off, thank God, but I have heard of realtors that I know that have. And it is so sad because once that money goes, once that wire is sent, it's like goes to la la land. There's no getting it back. And it is really scary.
I want to deal with a real person because I can just call your people up and
come in person. Yeah, come in person and give us the information. Where do you want your proceeds wired, or do you want us to actually go and take the proceeds via check to your bank and deposit it for you? So yeah, it is just, I think it is old-fashioned, but will always be the way, right?
Also, from what I've seen on these scammer type emails, is if you look closely at them, they're messy. A lot of times there's either grammatical or spelling errors, punctuation's weird, or something looks off.
Yeah, exactly. I can always pick them out too. It's like, okay, this isn't for real. I'll get them in my email. Now that we've recovered all of your, we've breached your privacy and we have all your data, you're going to have to pay us this much money. Oh, yeah, you betcha. No, I'm not doing it. But especially older people will fall for those scams because they're very trusting. They're just not as in the know about it. I've told you before the story that I was with my dad one time and somebody called him and said, Grandpa, this is Michael. I've been in an accident. And he goes, what do you need? Yeah. And he was ready to get out his credit card. And I said, give me that phone. And I said, Michael? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, this is not Michael. Sorry. And my dad's like, how do you know that's not Michael? I said, Dad, I can tell Michael's voice. This is not Michael. You were going to be scammed. Well, then, of course, he felt terrible. And he hung his head low like, dang it. I'm not even able to take care of myself. And it's like, no, it's not that. It's just that these people are pretty crafty.
Yes, they are. And crafty and diabolical.
Yeah.
To go after
downright evil.
Who is,
downright evil. Yeah. Terrible.
And you read about how much money they make off of this. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. These
just terrible. We actually part of our contracts now, when we sit down with buyers and sellers, there's actually a page, and in big capital letters it says wire fraud alert. And we talk to them about, hey, if you get suspicious emails or someone asks you for numbers or bank, do not give it. So I mean, it seems silly that we have to sit and tell people that, but it's happened, so we have to do everything we can to protect our clients from from having that happen to them.
And this is another warning, right? What we just spent a couple minutes talking about.
Exactly.
We do have just a couple minutes. Do you have any listings?
All right, I do. I have a couple listings I want to talk about. At 801 9th Avenue in Rochester, we have a little 3-bed, 2-bath, little story and a half. And it's $259,900. Getting a lot of showings, but on the market 5 days. I feel like, it's going to sell quickly just based on the price, but it's a cutie. It's at, I told you, 801 9th Avenue Northwest. Okay, so that's one. And that's over by the old butcher shop, that area. And then out in Goodhue, the address is 40054 Highway 58 Boulevard. This is a really, really unique house. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. It has a 2-car garage, but then it has a huge, and I mean huge barn, really cool barn. You go upstairs, there's 2 separate rooms. Like it could be a photo studio. It could, I don't know. It's really cool. It's not like any barn. It's really cool. I don't know what somebody's going to use it for, but the house itself has 2,475 square feet. But then again, it has the big barn, and then it has 18 acres, and it has a stream running through it, a creek. It is really cool land, and that is $669,000. Wow. So if you're looking for a really awesome opportunity to have your own little piece of heaven with a house that's not, ridiculously huge, but very nicely renovated, that would be a good one for you.
And then, if you're a car person, you could put all the cars in there, and you're right off of a blacktop road too, so that's perfect.
Yeah, you are. So that would be actually great. And then I have a commercial listing. I don't have a ton of commercial listings. I had that chocolate shop in Wabasha, which we closed on last week, and so that one is gone. But I listed the Wild Wings building over in Lake City.
Oh, neat.
That big art gallery that was there forever and ever and ever. Yeah, and now it's empty, and oh my, that building is humongous. It is humongous. It has 2 loading docks. It has office space. It could be just about anything. But the best part about that is the location, because it's not only right off the highway, but the backside of it is a gorgeous view of Lake Pepin. So, and then there's that whole piece of land. It goes all the way to the point there with those pine trees. That's an additional parcel, but the building itself is for sale for $1.5 million, which it has recently been appraised for a little bit more than that. The tax value is right at $1.5 million, so it's priced to sell. And the additional land is an additional $250,000. Whoever buys the building will have the first right of refusal. So we won't sell the land until the person who buys the building decides if they want the land or not. So if you want to, I think so. But I mean, and I think right now it's zoned industrial, but I know that the current owners have talked to the city of Lake City about rezoning it, and they were they sounded very favorable about maybe putting a high rise there with a view of the lake, or maybe some senior living with easy access for family to come and visit. I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited about that listing, and I've already shown it 2 times. And it just literally hit the market. So it's going to be fun for me to see what goes there next, because for as long as I can remember, it was Wild Wings.
Right.
So if you want to see that, just, let me know and I'll get you over there.
Okay. If you want to see any of the properties that Robin's talked about, or you have a property you might be interested in selling.
Yeah, that would be especially awesome if you have a property you'd like to sell, because we need inventory. But yes, call me on my cell phone. That number is 507-259-4926. And you can always visit our website at gwaltneygroup.com, and all of our contact information is there, every team member.
Fantastic. Thanks, Robin.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Until next week, this has been Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.